All right, hello 1306 people, here to continue forward actually to get into discussion on chapter 2. I meant to post this yesterday. Sorry, had some technical difficulties with that, but we're running today. So let's get into the discussion. Basically what we call the hierarchy of matter, hierarchy of biology. Anytime we try to teach a complicated topic, biology falls under that idea. There's two schools of thought that work and that have been attempted. One is to start with the big, complicated sort of concept and then kind of extract little bits off of the big, full picture. It works. It's a little bit challenging to do that way. Another way, in a way that I think is more common and I think is a little bit better approach to teach biology, is to start at the small level. So we start with small pieces, connect them to get bigger and bigger. And this is how you have probably been taught up to this point in middle school and high school. This is kind of like how video games work, right? You start with a simple level and then it gets more complex as you go onwards. So we're gonna use that strategy this semester. And I think it will be effective to teach you some important biological concepts, yeah? And these are just some of the levels that we're gonna get into. So we start with the atomic level. We deal with atoms, we deal with the concepts of physics, energy, thermodynamics, that kind of stuff. We then start to piece small atoms together, and we start to then deal with the macromolecules or molecules and then larger macromolecules. Once we piece together different macromolecules, we have the level of the cells. Once we piece different cells together, we then go to the tissue level. A bunch of tissues working together, we have organs. A bunch of organs working together, we have biological systems, which then will comprise a complete and functional organism. If we have a lot of organisms of the same type, we then talk about a population. And a population of the same organisms interacting with all other living organisms we call the community. El Paso Community College, right? So El Paso being a community made up of populations. We have populations of humans, populations of cats, of dogs, trees, birds. So that would then be our community. Once we start to factor in the non-living factors like heat, rain, rocks, wind, dust, then that becomes our ecosystem. And the El Paso ecosystem doesn't look lush and green like that. We're a desert ecosystem. Right? And then if we piece together all the ecosystems of the world, it gets very complex, right? All the terrestrial, the land ecosystems, and the aquatic ecosystems comprising our whole biosphere. So to be at the biospheric level, that is impressive. That means that you understand all of the underlying levels up to that point. Now for biology 1306, if you kind of contemplate, you analyze this little slide here, where do you suspect we're going to end up, right? I'll tell you, we're going to start at level 1. How far do you think we're going to get by the time December rolls around? How far down this hierarchy do you think we're going to go? Yeah, you're guessing there, so you make a guess. Well, I don't know if some of you kind of got this correct, but in 15, 16 weeks, we're going to get only to the level of cells. So this is biology 1306, introductory biology. You can also call it a cellular biology course. We spend this whole semester and we only get as far as the cellular level there. So 15 weeks here, we learn about chemistry as it applies to biology, cellular processes. At this point then, after 1306, you would jump into anatomy 1, a lot of you, right? So anatomy 1, you learn some tissues, you learn some organs, some systems. And then you had anatomy 2, right? AMP1, AMP2, 2401, 2402. And that will then lead you to the complete organismal level. So 3 semesters technically to get to this point. Some of you are going different paths. You'll take 1306, and then you're going to jump to 1307 and not the anatomies. So if you take the 1307 route, we end up here, and then we kind of hop over all the details of 4 and 5, and we begin at the level 6. Right? But to get to the entire, 7, 8, 9, and 10, that's going to take multiple semesters, your zoology courses, your botany courses. And again, that's going to be a path some of you take. Others, if you go into the nursing realm, you become doctors, maybe you become specialists. Maybe some of you are going to spend your whole career at the organ level, the cardiologist level, a neurologist, just a specialist of some sort. But I suspect most of you are going to work at this level, working with organisms. Not that you're going to work with birds per se, unless you're going to be a veterinarian, but you're going to work with individual patients. And then we have to understand in the level of the population how, like, for example, the coronavirus, how does the coronavirus hop within a population from organism to organism to organism. So again, most of you will spend your careers at either level 6 or level 7. Some of you may specialize level 5. Some of you may spend a lifetime in research, cellular biochem, cellular research here, right? So again, just showing you some levels of the hierarchy of biology. Right? So important hierarchy, let's see if I can phrase it right. Hierarchical levels of organization here, right? So with that, let me sort of pause this and let me transfer this. I'll upload it, and then very quickly we'll get into the next discussion here.